And we're going to find out if Purple can get a bigger than 5% advantage in this one. Game 2 is getting underway right now between Powder and Purple. Big adjustment from Purple in this one. I would suspect that Freeze Mage is not going to be queued up again in this match.
Yeah, probably not. Not when you see something like Control Warrior coming out of your opponent, but you do see Harrison Jones immediately put in.
Yeah, Harrison Jones not going to be a lot of value in this matchup. It looks like Powder's playing Dragon Warlock here, and this deck has been, honestly, every single time it's been played, it's been looking fantastic.
It looks great in every game that we have. We saw Muzzy win a lot of games with it so far this
Picking
season.
your spots with it, I think, is so important right off the bat. Malagos' opening hand. I don't think he wants it quite in his opening hand, but definitely a critical card in this matchup. And Powder, no threats in his opener.
Yeah, well, Purple,
Purple, yes.
Purple had an amazing opener if Powder was playing something like Zoo. You know, playing an aggressive Warlock deck, but you're going to see the real, problem with this hand progress forward since this is the matchup where you need threats.
I mean, just look at him, too. He's like, oh, my gosh, what am I supposed to do with this hand?
There's a chance we see a runaway in this matchup. Yeah,
Twilight Drake, though, does now have a target for Keeper of the Grove. So, something to look forward to. Oh, gosh, Savage Roar gets picked up. No minion pressure from Purple whatsoever. And if Powder, if he has two options here. I mean, he can go with Imp King Boss or he can coin out this Twilight Drake. I think both of them are very good. But I think he's just going to take it slow to start, given what he's seen from Purple so far.
There's no reason to rush here.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Purple finally picking up a minion here.
Azure Drake, we just talked about how this actually wasn't found that often in Druid decks. I'm curious exactly why he's including this.
He's a big fan of Azure Drake, Admirable, if you've watched him play with almost all of his decks.
Very aware of that.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing.
Twilight Drake gonna hit the board, and once again, inefficient turns from Purple if he wants to get the job done.
Who doesn't like value?
There's someone out there who doesn't like value. I don't know who they are. But
yeah, they're just wrong.
Yeah. They're just wrong. You're just dumb, man. You just don't like. You're just dumb.
They just don't like fun.
Gonna get Purple's perspective back as soon as we can. Powder, in the meantime, looking sharp in this game. All of the options in the world. Doesn't even need to trade with his Keeper of the Grove. But he's wants to protect his Azure Drake as long as he can. He's seen a swipe here too, so he's got to be feeling fantastic.
Purple picking up a Sludge Belcher here. He's going to take his time to decide which minion he actually wants to add to the board going forward here.
Yeah, I would venture to say that Azure Drake might stick in the hand to try to pick off some 4 health minions. Once he's seen Azure Drake, he's got a very clear image of what this deck is from Powder. He's going to use Azure Drake, though. Wants to pick up more pressure immediately. Cannot blame him for that. His hand is looking so gross at this point. Even just going to play Big Game Hunter here. Not a lot of targets in Powder's deck for Big Game Hunter, so I think getting a threat on board is totally fine. But with Azure Drake out, Mortal Coil's at 2 damage right now.
Yeah, generally, there's sometimes with these builds that you have almost no targets. Sometimes they may have a Dr. Boom or something.
Yeah.
But
oh, gosh. Emperor Thorson even gets picked up.
Great turn here from Powder. Wow.
Just what massive board swings he's been having, keeping the pressure high. He's got 9 power out on the board, and Purple's got no answer to this right now. He picks up a Wrath after he uses his Azure Drake as well.
Yeah, everything going Powder's way, nothing going right for Purple here.
Once again, another very strong turn for Powder to utilize the extra spell damage.
Looks like that bug is back. We had it away for a little while.
Yeah, it just never goes away. Powder 10 cards in his hand. The world at his fingertips.
Emperor Thorson's a pretty good one when you got 10 cards.
Yeah, but leaving minions on the board is something I don't think he's looking to do this game. I think if there's a spot he can do it, now's the time. But your opponent's used a swipe. You have an Azure Drake out. How bad can Implosion really be?
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about just playing Emperor and then coining out Dark Bomb as well, though.
Does have to use a minion if he's going to Dark Bomb. And I think that with Malagos in his hand, he doesn't want to use Dark Bombs right now. Looks like I'm going to be wrong. He will Dark Bomb, and now, does he trade in the Azure Drake or does he trade in the 5/4? Is the spell damage more valuable at this point?
So Purple's at 27, so if you attack him for 5 this turn, he goes on to 22. You have 10 power in play. Emperor triggers. You have an 8-mana Malagos, a 1-mana Dark Bomb, and a 3-mana Hellfire. So yeah, I think you're okay with the Azure Drake sticking around.
Yeah, I think the threat of the spell damage can also potentially throw off some plans that Powder wants to utilize. I'm sorry, that Purple wants to utilize. Just never gonna get this right. And doing what he can to try to shore up.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to clear the board here.
Well, sort of. Is he wrathing to draw, or is he just just gonna pick it off?
He needs the board clear. He already has a Force of Nature and Savage Roar, Sludge Belcher, and a Dr. Boom, so he has some options going forward, or more than one. And you can't let any of these minions sit around.
This looks like just a totally fine Malagos turn to me. How does Druid actually kill this card?
Yeah, 4/12, beat it.
Now, Purple does have a Force of Nature and a Savage Roar, and I think that he's going to use that to take this out. but we're going to be running very short on options
Now,
afterwards.
in Powder Seat, do you even play around that at this point? Because that's probably the only answer that he has.
Yeah, that's why I think you play it. You know, to see him use his second Force Nature and his second and a Savage Roar in this situation. I mean, now where does his reach come from? He actually has to grind you out of the game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, Powder, it's going to be hard for him to win from here as well. This is very integral to his winning.
Well, you know, it can be difficult to win, but it's just his hand has enough threats in it that I think he can get this job done still.
No, I agree with you. He has a lot of threats in his hand, but that is his main way to win and like the integral part of his deck. You know, Purple's deck has a lot of hits left over going forward. He has a lot of Ancient of Lores left.
He's got to deal with 9 points of power first. And once again, no shortage of burn in Powder's hand. Zombie Chow is a dead draw, though. And 2 Wild Growths. He's going to be cycling at least one of these, but, you know, does he want to play Dr. Boom here? I mean, he's in a very similar situation.
He's going to cycle both of them in the Sludge Belt.
I think he's looking for that.
Actually.
No, he's just going to go with Dr. Boom here, so we'll get a little bit punished by this big game hunter. Even 2 Iron Beak Owls. He can just shut off the Death Rattles if he wants to, but I think the pressure is going to be looking for. Is this actually just lethal his turn 10 plus 8? He's 2 damage off of lethal right now, so going to have to continue to play it a little bit slow, I guess. Is slow the right term for that?
Just a little bit, a little safe.
Yeah.
Just a little safe. If you call, you know, killing Dr. Boom safe.
Yeah, killing Dr. Boom is usually pretty safe.
How about correct? Would that be a better word?
Correct, I think, is okay. I like just adding pressure to the board. I think it's totally fine. You know, how does Purple deal with it?
I mean, he's shown you that he can't actually. You know, he cycled a Wild Growth last turn. You know, finally played a Dr. Boom, but he hasn't gotten anything going this game. You know that his hand has just been terrible.
Oh, that's a completely dead draw from Purple as well. Needs some massive work from that Boom Bot.
Not a
not
good
going
spot
to
for
get
that Boom
done.
Bot.
No way to fend off this pressure. Once again, Purple's not going to let Powder just deliver that final blow.
Powder pulls out to a quick 2-0 lead here. He is on match point. If Purple wants to win this match, he has to pull off the reverse sweep.